Hello, Waco. Who's happy to be here today? Are we all happy to be here for the Waco ISD? All right. Thank you for that response. Thank you so much for being here. This is our second annual Waco ISD Foundation Legacy Luncheon, and today we are all going to be part of a very special time to recognize and honor some very, very deserving individuals, schools, partnerships, etc. To begin our day's program, we are going to ask everyone to please stand as we'll have the presentation of colors presented by the University High Junior ROTC Honor Unit with distinction, led by First Sergeant Leonard Montalongo and Sergeant First Class Marcus Hanner. Please remain standing for the national anthem. Singing the national anthem today are University High seniors Michael Mays, Kashara Newton, and Shanice Pullen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Beautiful. That's the way the Star-Spangled Banner should be sung. Fantastic. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Today, the pledge will be led by Kate Ewens and Ramon O'Neill Jr., who are fifth graders at Mountain View Elementary. We will wait. Well, we're going to go ahead and do that before the colors depart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mark, sir. Mark. Upward. Mark.
Now let's have a big round of applause for these WISD students. Please be seated. And now we will have our invocation that will be led by Russell Livesay, our WISD Education Foundation Board Chair. Russell?
Please join me in prayer. Dear Lord, we pray to you today with a grateful heart. Grateful for our community, grateful for our district, grateful for our administration, teachers, and volunteers. We ask blessings on each of these. We also pray for our teachers, administrators, and volunteers to be encouraged and renewed each day as they pour their lives into our Waco ISD students. Please be with our students. Help them to develop a lifelong love of learning. Help them look to model their lives after those being recognized today. Thank you for the food we are about to receive and those who prepared it. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Russell. And let me encourage everyone, please enjoy your meal as we continue with today's program. We have a lot to do in a short period of time. We thank George's Restaurant, Sammy Citrano, Paula and their group for taking good care of us with the food here today. At this time, I think it's appropriate that I say there are so many of you that are community leaders, people that deserve introductions today, but obviously we don't have time to do that. But we all know how much time and what great leadership our school board gives to our community each and every year. And at this time, I would like to introduce, while you continue to eat, the members of our Waco ISD school board that are with us today. School board, and hold your applause, please, till we get everyone introduced. School Board President Pat Atkins, Vice President Alan Sykes, stay standing, please, Alan. Secretary Norman Manning, board members Carrie Dupuy, is Carrie here? Larry Perez, Angela Tikel. Those are all busy people. They've got to work sometimes, so they weren't all able to join us today. And certainly joining us is our terrific Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Bonnie Kane. Now, a big round of applause for all of them. Thank you. Alan, Norman, Bonnie, thank you so much. There are also a few other individuals connected with today's event that we want to recognize. And again, I would like for you to hold your applause while you continue to eat. First is Gretchen Eichenberg. Gretchen is a foundation board member and this year's event co-chair, along with Russell Livesay, who you've already met. Marion Palomino, the foundation's foundation specialist. Please stand. Y'all stand, and please stand up so we can recognize you properly. Dr. Cecilia Boswell, the Executive Director of Advanced Academics. Kristen Peasley, our Waco ISD Partnership Specialist. And Amber George, our WISD Education Foundation Coordinator. Now let's give them all a big round of applause. Thank you so much. Then if we have any Adopt a School Advisory Board members or WISD Foundation Board members, I would please like to ask those of you in attendance to please stand where we could recognize you. Johnny Dudley, y'all stand up, our advisory board members and WISD Foundation. Bruce, stand up back there. Let's go. Give them a round of applause. Thank you all so much for being here. One of the gentlemen standing up back there in the back certainly needed no introduction. Bruce, I want to say accolades for this man. Not only is he our anchor on Channel 25, but he chairs the Waco ISD Celebrity Chef Cook-Off every year. That event this year raised how much, Bruce? $108,000. Bruce, stand up one more time. Let us thank you for what you do. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, Russell, I think it's time for you to come back up now. Russell Livesay, of course, is the chairman of our Waco ISD Foundation Board. He's also a WISD parent, volunteer, advisory board member, a terrific financial analyst and advisor, and a terrific friend to our community. So, Russell, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, well, hello and welcome again. Thank you for joining us today in this busy time of year. We thank you for taking some time out. Today, I'm honored to be a part of this celebration. Today is intended to honor and celebrate the years of hard work, dedication, and achievements to Waco ISD, and more importantly, to our Waco ISD students. This event allows Waco ISD, the Education Foundation, to spotlight incredible volunteers and partnership activities, as well as the outstanding achievements of Waco ISD alumni. You will hear in the next few minutes how truly remarkable today's honorees are. I'd like to personally thank each of you for your support of the Waco ISD Education Foundation, the Adopt a School Partnership Program, and of the district. This year, we also are pleased to announce our first Advanced Academics Early Leader Award honoree to our list. Of course, this event would not be possible without our corporate and individual sponsors. If you would please hold your applause till the end, and we're going to recognize them as a group. Community Bank and Trust, Texas State Technical College of Waco, Baylor University School of Education, Central National Bank, Jim and Judy Haller, Peter Piper Pizza, Joe and Amanda Nesbitt, and Dr. Elton and Peggy Stuckley. Thank you so much, sponsors. I also need to acknowledge and recognize Jim Haller for helping us today. Jim is a tireless volunteer in our community. Other than working full-time as Executive Vice President at the First National Bank of Central Texas, Jim serves on many boards and dedicates a significant amount of time to our community. He has served multiple terms as the Adopt a School Advisory Board Chair and is also the current board chair for the Waco Foundation that does so much for our community and for our community's not-for-profits. More importantly, Jim is a lifelong advocate for Waco ISD, its students, its mission, and helping educate the future leaders of Waco. Jim, I speak for everyone here today when we say thank you for all that you do. Now at this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Cecilia Boswell and Dr. Karen Hassel to come to the podium for our newest award, the Advanced Academics Early Leader Award.
Thank you, Russell, and thanks to each of you who are here to support so many different things about Waco ISD. It is my pleasure to announce the Advanced Academic Services Department creation of the Early Leader Award, first given this year in 2014. We are proud of the caliber of the graduates of Waco ISD and the contributions they make to the world. Because a select group of graduates truly distinguish themselves from the rest, we are pleased to announce the first Academics Early Leader Award. This leader must be a graduate of Waco ISD who participated in the Gifted and Talented and/or Advanced Academics programs, and a graduate who has distinguished him or herself and the impact they have on others in their community and/or the world. I am pleased now to introduce to you Dr. Boswell, who will introduce our award winner.
Thank you, Dr. Hassel. Our inaugural winner's journey is one of excellence, distinction, and merit. After participating in gifted services in Waco ISD, the National Forensic League, and receiving Best Actress at the District 1 Act play, Devin Anderson graduated from Waco ISD's Richfield High School. While at Richfield High School, she was president of the National Honor Society, president of the junior class, president of Performing Arts Company, student council member, junior and varsity cheerleader, Edward Society member, homecoming princess, and last but certainly not least, senior most likely to succeed. Success has continued to mark Devin's journey. Off she went to the University of Texas, where she was an honor graduate in Plan 2, UT's honors program. After attending UT Law School and earning her Juris Doctorate, she worked as assistant district attorney in Harris County, prosecuting more than 100 jury trials, including 7 capital murder cases. Be careful. Our winner has instructed at the National Association of District Attorneys Career Prosecutor School, taught continuing legal education classes for the State Bar of Texas and the Texas District and County Attorneys Association, was a presiding judge involving all levels of felony offense, and managed a criminal defense firm as a partner in Anderson and Thomas. Lest you think she is one-dimensional, you should know that she is currently the Harris County District Attorney, an office that leads the largest prosecutor's office in Texas, with more than 600 employees and a budget of $69 million a year. Along with this award, she has been ranked second among local criminal district judges in a Houston Bar Association poll, has been appointed a special prosecutor, has been president of the board of directors of the Harris County Drug Court Foundation, and has just received the Premier Women in Law Award by the Association of Women Attorneys. But wait, there's one more dimension of Ms. Anderson. In her own words, I am proud to be the mother of Sam, 13, and Bryn, 11. As a mother, she volunteers for the Bel Air Girls Softball Association and works with Boy Scouts of America and Odyssey of the Mind. She further includes being proud to be the daughter of Dr. Patricia Wallace, who is with us today. I present to you our distinguished inaugural winner of the Advanced Academics Young Leader of the Year, Devin Anderson.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored by this award, and it's really hard to sit and listen to your biography and look at that picture from high school. Let's not put up any more of those, please, with my gigantic hair, as my kids said. You know, getting this award made me think about how Waco ISD schools have influenced me and what I have carried from my education forward into my career. And this morning I got out all my annuals from Richfield High School and looked at them, and it made me realize how much I got from. I'm going to talk about Richfield High School. I'm not talking about junior high. I refuse. I, like everybody, I don't think any of us want to remember our junior high days, so I'm going to focus on high school. When I left Richfield High School, I went to UT and I wanted to be an actress in New York. My mother wouldn't pay for me to do that. She said she would pay for me to go to law school. So I didn't know what kind of law I wanted to practice until I was home from UT one weekend looking at the Sunday paper, and the Parade magazine had an article on the top female prosecutors in the country. And I thought, well, now this is interesting. This is something that sounds a lot better than writing contracts or writing briefs and doing research. So from that moment on, I knew I wanted to be a prosecutor and went to UT Law School, which is not exactly really a place where people who want to be prosecutors should go, but I got through it because it's a corporate law school, and decided to go into the DA's office and was lucky enough to get hired in Harris County by Johnny Holmes. And I'm glad to be back there as district attorney. So how did the teachers at Richfield in these advanced classes help me? First of all, advanced classes were a godsend for me because they kept me interested in school. I had 3 teachers I'm going to talk about. The first is Mary Brown. Most people of my age and a little younger know her. She was really scary. I didn't really like her very much, but I got to say, when I reflect back on what I learned from her, she taught advanced English and humanities, and she taught me how to take a large amount of information and boil it down, which I have to do in trial all the time. I have to teach regular people about DNA, about fingerprints, about ballistics. Very difficult concepts you have to boil down and be able to communicate in an effective manner. We had to read Don Quixote and Les Miserables, really big books that she would then expect us to be able to talk about and to boil down their themes and what was important about those stories. Even more importantly, I learned how to write and how to edit. And these days, people can't write. And so I've figured out even and I don't want to slam anybody on my staff, but every piece of paper that goes out of my office comes through me because I edit it. I make sure that proper grammar is used and that things are spelled right. So I learned that from her. And also, I'm sure I have the best vocabulary of any district attorney in Texas, really probably in the country, thanks to her infamous vocabulary test. I was helping my 7th grader get ready for a vocabulary test, and I'm proud to say I knew all the words. Now, do I use them? No, but not generally, but I know the meaning of them thanks to Mary Brown. Also, J.E. Masters, who taught drama, and you can see why I wanted to be an actress. I mean, I learned from him the concept of having a game face, that even if you're scared, even if you're nervous, you put on your game face and you go forward. And even if sets are falling down and your costume falls apart, you keep going. That's a very important concept for a trial lawyer to have. And as a prosecutor, as the district attorney, my first press conference was one of the most terrifying events I've ever experienced, with a phalanx, that's a vocabulary word, of cameras that I had to go out by myself and talk to. And I thought of J.E. because he taught me how to just play through that kind of fear. And also the use of drama in presenting cases to jurors. We're in the technological era and everybody wants video, and you have to really think out your case and plot it very carefully so you keep the interest of the jury and you persuade them what to do. I'm getting ready for a capital murder case right now, the murder of a police officer and a Good Samaritan, and the prosecutors who are trying it with me and I are we are creating, in essence, a play, a performance for jurors to remain engaged and to understand the depravity of this crime and to do what we hope they're going to do, which is give this person the death penalty. The last person, on a lighter note, I can always bring in the dark, sorry, because of my job. On a lighter note, and the other teacher that I adored was Ed Nipper, who taught German and chemistry. I hated chemistry, but he was so funny, he got us through it. A great sense of humor, which taught me that you can be funny and still be an authoritarian. You have to learn how to laugh at certain things that you don't have control over, and he taught us that. He also somehow took about 20 high school kids to Europe and got us back in one piece. I still don't know how he did that, but I've got that experience to look back on with him. And finally, I believe I'm one of the only people in the United States who can spell the word separate, because he taught me that there's a rat in the middle of separate. Now you all know how to spell separate as well. But if I can dedicate this award to anyone, I would not be standing here without my mother, sorry. I would not be standing here without my mother supporting me and taking care of me all these years. And now that I'm a single mother, I can see with much more clarity how strong and how amazing a person she is. So this is for you, Mom. Thank you.
How about that story? Devin, congratulations again. That was absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Patricia, thank you for being such a great mom. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hey, this is just, Devin was standing up there talking about vocabulary. This made me think of a funny story back when I was coaching. And there's lots of funny stories in relation to that, but this one night, and this is, truth is stranger than fiction, so I'm getting ready to tell you a true story. One night, I had a player that had come into our program from Tyler Junior College. They were playing out at MCC one night, he said, could I ride out there with you? So I pick him up. We go out there to watch Tyler play MCC. He's got on a big old overcoat and a hat and really styling. And we walk into the MCC gym out in the foyer. And there was Shelby Metcalf, the coach of A&M, Gerald Myers, the coach of Texas Tech. And Gerald Myers walked up to my player and he said, "Hey, are you incognito?" And my player turned to him and he said, "No, sir, my name's Wendell Mays." So there's that vocabulary you're talking about, Devin, right there. So now when I see Gerald, he asks me about our great English department at Baylor. So, okay, we're getting ready to present our Adopt-a-School Partnership Awards. And before we do that, I think it would be most appropriate, the lady that has started the Adopt-a-School program in Waco, the lady we referred to as Miss Waco ISD for many years. Kay Matt, stand up and let us recognize you. Come on, Kay. I know you don't like it, but come on. Thank you so much for all you've done. All right, now to present these partnership awards, I'd like to ask Dr. Bonnie Kane, our terrific superintendent of schools, and Kristen Peasley, who's doing such a tremendous job as our partnership specialist, to join me on the stage to present these awards. Listen to this now. You wonder about this Adopt-a-School program. There's over 180 companies in our city that are taking part in the Adopt-a-School program at 22 different campuses. This has become a huge, huge part of our community, and we're so thankful to all the businesses and all the volunteers that take part in this program, helping our youth every week. Today, we're going to recognize the best of the best. The first is the Award of Excellence for Elementary Schools. Now, as I call your name, I'm going to ask you to come up here, get your award, and stay so we can take a picture at the conclusion. So please hustle up when we call your name. The first award, the Award of Excellence, is an honor given to the Waco ISD partner that addresses all facets of campus and organizational needs. This particular honoree has donated over 200 brand new uniforms this year, provided turkeys for families at Thanksgiving, adopted 38 students and their families at Christmas, decorated and provided food in the teacher's lounge during the STAR tests, supported teacher appreciation, organized muffins for moms, provided lunch on several different occasions for the faculty just because they wanted to do it, and completely funded the tuning of the steel drums as well as the needed materials to play them. Receiving the Award of Excellence at the elementary level for outstanding overall partnership throughout the district is Austin Avenue United Methodist Church. Come on up. We appreciate Austin Avenue. I see a lot of members here. Sally, are you coming? Who's coming up? We need somebody. Okay, Diane McCann's going to come up. Good deal. All right, so as she comes up, let's greet her warmly, say thank you again. All right, done. Okay, and West Avenue Elementary School is the partner, so congratulations to West. I'm sorry, I got all excited about those Methodists. Okay, next is our Award of Excellence for Secondary Schools. This particular honoree, under the organization of Mr. Tom Burr, has provided over 30 volunteers, spending close to 2,000 hours turning a bare, dingy, and fairly new state-of-the-art greenhouse into a thriving mass of green through the Junior Master Gardener program at University High School. Along with growing vegetables and herbs, students have learned how to harvest seeds from plants for reuse, compost garden waste, and donated abundant harvests to local community kitchens. Because of this program, not only will these students have earned a Junior Master Gardener certification by the end of the school year, which will be a resource in seeking local employment, this has helped to increase attendance in the classrooms for the students as they look forward to working with the volunteers. A quote from one of the students, Isabel: "The program made me see how nature is a very unique thing. It made me realize how beautiful it can be as well. I never knew gardening would be not as easy as it looks. Also, it made me appreciate the skills gardeners have. They can do some great things with some soil and a pot. McLennan County Master Gardeners have made me want to learn more and appreciate nature." Receiving the Award of Excellence at the secondary level for outstanding overall partnership throughout the district, McLennan County Master Gardeners. Congratulations to the Master Gardeners and University High School. All right, good job. All right, Rookie of the Year. Every year we have some outstanding new companies that come in to help our district. Some partnerships have been established for 28 years. That's a ton of planning, life lessons, and skill to compete with. This year's Rookie of the Year awards goes to the St. Paul's Episcopal Church at Indian Springs Middle School. This partnership has hit the ground running, introducing a gifted and talented reading group that study every Monday, a men's mentoring breakfast on Wednesday mornings, and continued support for the faculty and staff throughout the year, starting with the first day of school, presenting the teachers with school supplies for their classrooms. The business coordinator, Tracy Brennan, has reached out to St. Paul Episcopal's congregation seeking mentors and support for our children. She has a heart for the students and faculty at Indian Spring Middle School and is looking forward how this partnership and relationship will form in years to come. Congratulations to St. Paul's Episcopal and Indian Spring Middle School. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Good job. All right, we have many great volunteers, but now we're going to get the outstanding volunteer for 2013-2014. Committed, hardworking, and dedicated are only a few words used to describe this year's outstanding volunteer. This person spends 3 days a week tutoring and mentoring over 20, 40, and 5th graders on campus, as well as serving as a tour guide for families who have applied to go to Hillcrest PDS and chaperoning many field trips taken by the students throughout the year. This year's outstanding volunteer goes to Mr. Jim Patton, volunteer at Hillcrest PDS. Mr. Patton adds depth to the development portion of Hillcrest and touches the lives of our children, our families, and our faculty and staff. Without Mr. Patton, the school would not be the success it is. Congratulations to Mr. Patton and to Hillcrest. Jim, congratulations. Good job. Terrific. Thank you. Now to the outstanding school coordinator. And we, as a business partner in this program, I can tell you the coordinator makes all the difference in the world. This is a very important position, and the ones that do it well really benefit their students. This year, the outstanding school coordinator is an uncompensated volunteer position that typically entails many hours of extra planning, meetings, and last-minute details during an already action-packed day. This year's outstanding school coordinator not only devotes countless hours to coordinate her campus partnership activities, but also refuses to accept this honor alone. A few words by Mrs. McCracken in response to the award announcement. I'm speechless, and for me, that is something for sure. I'm not certain how all that happened, but I'm just sitting here in a state of wow. I certainly must share this spotlight with Susan and Gwen, who are always there on the side taking care of partners' events and helping with every aspect of gathering what's needed to make things happen. Also, we depend on the talents of Lori, who always has our Parkdale students ready to entertain our partners at a moment's notice. Thanks to all who are in on this huge surprise. Parkdale and partners, you are the ones who make our school shine. We definitely have the best staff and partners in the district. I certainly appreciate this honor, and will try to live up to being a devoted partner coordinator. Today, we honor Ms. Connie McCracken from Parkdale Elementary. Okay.
Want me to speak at all?
No, we read your quotes already. All right. Thank you, Connie. Okay, our outstanding business coordinator. This year's outstanding coordinator is one that is enthusiastic, compassionate, and very supportive of the students and staff at Alta Vista Elementary. She is constantly striving to find ways to improve on the programs established in her church's partnership with Alta Vista. Mrs. Leslie King of First Presbyterian has recruited, trained, and encouraged members of her church to become tutors to 16 of our students, as well as recruited members to become pen pals for the 2 fourth-grade classrooms to help increase their writing techniques in preparation for the STAR writing test. Mrs. King leads by example, and her actions encourage everyone. Congratulations, Leslie King. Where's Leslie? Come on. There you are. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go to our Golden Apple Awards, and these go to the partners excelling in certain key aspects of campus, community, and student needs. We'll ask these folks, we're going to go through these very quickly, so if you'll come up quickly, we will continue to do our best to get out of here on time. For mentoring, Community Bank and Trust and Alta Vista Elementary. This group serves as pen pals to a 4th-grade classroom in order to help prepare them for the STAR writing test, as well as a few of their employees are found weekly mentoring on campus. They all support the campus faculty throughout the year, providing lunch and snacks on different occasions, and provide students with perfect attendance incentives for the end of the year awards. Congratulations to Community and Alta Vista. For tutoring, Carter Blood Care, McLennan Community College, Voice Incorporated, and the Waco Fire Department and Waco High School. Partnering with Waco High to help increase student attendance at Saturday tutorials, these campus partners work together as a team to provide brain food for students while being tutored. Because of their generosity of not only providing snacks, but also taking time out of their Saturday schedules to check on the students and help tutor in any way that they could, the attendance numbers doubled from last year to over 100 students attending Saturday tutorials at Waco High School. Thanks and congratulations to all of you. Super job. Okay, academic enrichment. Academic enrichment. The Waco Symphony Association and Lake Air Montessori School. Early musical training in both vocal and instrumental music helps develop brain areas involved in language and reasoning, along with many other characteristics. Through generous gifts of the Waco Symphony Association's board members, each one of Lake Air Montessori's 130 band students has an instrument to play without sharing, as well as practice books, sheet music, and other essentials like chair trolleys and a working sound system needed for campus performances. No child interested in participating in the elective band program has been left behind due to the generosity of this wonderful partnership. Students are also provided the opportunity to attend for free any scheduled Waco Symphony concert throughout the year. Thanks so much to the Waco Symphony Association, Lake Air Montessori. We've got these terrific representatives, but I'm going to ask the maestro, the conductor of the Waco Symphony, Stephen Hyde, stand up and let us thank you for all you do. Stephen, thank you. Next is career awareness, Educators Credit Union and University High School. Focusing on career awareness, Education Credit Union opened its 9th branch on the campus of University High School. 10 years in the making, the Educators Credit Union branch employees, business and finance students from the A.J. Moore Academies at University High School. Students, through hands-on experience, will learn about running a banking institution and the finer points of financial literacy. Thank you so much. It's terrific. Thank you, Jimmy. Community service, Waco Community Development and Brook Avenue Elementary. Mrs. Alexis Christensen from the Waco Community Development Office spends time daily on Brook Avenue's campus communicating with parents and teachers about different ways they can partner together with the community for the benefit of the students. She also helps to organize parental involvement nights on campus and also attends neighborhood association and church meetings to inform them about the needs of the students and the families at Brook Avenue. They all work together to provide every student taking the STAR test with a note of encouragement. Thank you to Waco Community Development and Brook Avenue Elementary. All right. Science and math. Last one. First National Bank of Central Texas and Crestview Elementary. Volunteers from the First National Bank of Central Texas tutor 5th grade students in math every Tuesday on campus after school. Not only have these students improved their math skills, but they have begun to build relationships with a positive professional role model. Bank employees have also corresponded monthly with 4th grade students as pen pals. Thanks to First National and Crestview Elementary. Thank you all. Thank you. And now we will call on Chairman Russell Livesay to present our distinguished graduate awards. Russell, come on.
All right, thanks, Jim. Thank you again to our partners in education. Thank you for all that you do. Your involvement with Waco ISD students helps produce the product that we now acknowledge in our distinguished alumni. Today we are here to celebrate, recognize, and honor the amazing product that Waco ISD schools produce. Each of our distinguished alumni come to us with measurable stellar resumes, lists of community involvement activities, and accomplishments that impact people around the world. However immeasurable is the positive influence each of them have within their own networks and in our own local community. I'd like to ask Gretchen Eichenberg, our co-chair of today's event, and Amber George, a foundation coordinator, to join me on stage to present the awards. Our first 2014 distinguished alumni is Bertha Sadler Means, Moore High, 1939. Born in 1920 in the Colony outside Valley Mills in Bosque County, Bertha experienced the brunt of Jim Crow and the Great Depression during her youth. Her widowed mother moved the family to Waco. Bertha started picking cotton every year as soon as she was able, taking her school books along with her when her family went out on the road. Bertha graduated from Tolleson College in Austin, where she met and married Professor James H. Means, with whom she had 5 children. At Tolleson, Bertha was a founding member of the St. James Episcopal Church. While teaching, she earned a master's degree in educational psychology at the University of Texas in Austin. An outstanding teacher for over 20 years, she was an innovative administrator. She was also an innovative administrator for Austin ISD for 14 years. In the 1960s, Bertha swam in and picketed with her children to end segregation in public accommodations, beginning with Barton Springs Pool and Zilker Park. She personally convinced Frank Irwin, chairman of the UT Board of Regents, to integrate athletics at the University of Texas. Bertha co-founded Austin Cab Company, which in 2014 enables over 200 individuals to have steady work. Bertha and the UT women's basketball coach Jody Conrad were the first women to be inducted into the Austin Women's Hall of Fame. To recognize her amazing contributions, Austin ISD is naming a campus after Mrs. Means later this year. Congratulations, Mrs. Means, 2014 Waco ISD Distinguished Alumni.
I want to thank all of you who are here, and you just don't know how proud I am of Waco. I just don't know how to say it, but I think I have only 2 minutes, so. Nothing can give me more pleasure than to be honored by the Waco Independent School District. I love going to school in Waco. I have many fond memories of Moore High School in particular, where I somehow managed to do the right things. Number one, at Moore High School, I was center forward and captain of the girls' basketball team, enabling me to get an athletic scholarship to Tillotson College in Austin. Number two, at Moore High School, I did very well in my studies, especially English, which enabled me to specialize as a teacher of reading and set up an innovative reading program for the Austin Independent School District. Number three, at Moore High School, I was trained in secretarial skills, which I used to become secretary to the faculty while I was a student at Tillotson College, enabling me to earn the extra money that I desperately needed to cover my expenses. I have been truly blessed in my life. I had so many great teachers. They were the greatest. Among them were Emma Louise Harrison. There were others that I can't even remember the names of all of them, but they were all great. Mrs. Nelson was the lady who taught me how to type. And this was the thing that really helped me, because when I received an invitation from Tillotson College to fill in a form, and on the form it said, "What are your skills?" I said, "I can type 100 words a minute, 90 words a minute, and I know shorthand. I have bookkeeping skills." And lo and behold, as you noted, that there was a Great Depression. Many of the students had to wash dishes, clean floors, and everything. And because of A.J. Moore High School, I was a secretary to the faculty my freshman and sophomore years. And my junior year, I was secretary to the treasurer. And it was just fantastic, because I didn't have to study very much, because I was taught so much here at A.J. Moore High School. And I would just like to say, I do have a son and a daughter here, and I'd like for them to stand. James Means Jr., they just read. James Means and Janet were students at the University of Texas, and James was the one that integrated athletics in the Southwest Conference, and he has received many awards for that. But I'm so proud of all of the people here in Waco. I brought, just for the fun of it here, this is my diploma. Isn't it cute? And it says, Moore High School, Waco, Texas. Bertha Sadler Means, Bertha Elizabeth Means. and it is the nice diploma. And the interesting thing is, and I am just so grateful for so much. I have been truly blessed in my life, and these were the students with whom I worked. And many of them are not here anymore. And it really is something that I cherish. The people who were here, and especially the great teachers of H.A. Moore High School. And thank you all so much for being here. Good evening. I don't want to take your book. Augustine DeBose, will you stand? I forgot. This is my niece. and she's a teacher here. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Congratulations again, Mrs. Means, on being a 2014 Waco ISD Distinguished Alumni. Our next distinguished alumni is Congressman Joe Barton, Waco High, 1968. Congressman Barton was first elected to serve the 6th Congressional District of Texas in 1984. He is the Chairman Emeritus and the most senior Republican on the House Energy and Commerce Committee, which has jurisdiction over energy, public health, commerce, trade, telecommunications, and other marketplace interests. Congressman Barton has committed himself to passing energy legislation that promotes high supply, low demand, consumer-friendly prices while ensuring environmental protection. His efforts to develop comprehensive national energy legislation led to the passage and enactment of the Energy Policy Act of 2005, which is the last major piece of energy legislation to pass through Congress and become law. Congressman Barton was born September 15, 1949 in Waco. He attended Texas A&M University, where he was the outstanding industrial engineer student for the class of 1972. He went on to earn a Master's of Science degree in Industrial Administration from Purdue University. In 1981, he was selected for the prestigious White House Fellows Program and served as an aide to then Energy Secretary James B. Edwards. Congressman Barton and his wife Terry live in Ennis. He has 4 children, 2 stepchildren, and 5 grandchildren. Congratulations, Congressman Barton, 2014 Distinguished Alumni.
Well, thank you. First of all, I want to thank the Waco Independent School District and the Foundation for honoring me, and I'm glad you did it now. I don't think I would be here another 30 years from now like your previous honoree, but I'm in awe of her. That is amazing what she did. I'm going to start off with a little trivia question. Well, first of all, how many other old Waco High School, when it was downtown on Columbus, graduates do we have here today? If you're an original Waco High Tiger, raise your hand. We got a few. Good deal. Well, I asked that question for a reason. You know, I'm getting old enough that not too many people can prove whether the stories I tell are true or not. And so I just wanted to make sure before I got in too big of a flight of fancy that they have some truth tellers here that can hold me accountable. But I brought a couple of mementos from Waco High. This is my letter jacket, which I couldn't wear on a bet. And it's seen some use. In my day, you gave your letter jacket to your girlfriend. And I would like to say that that's why it has so much wear, is I had so many girlfriends, but that is not the case. This is my junior and senior game jersey. Now, you had two jerseys at Waco High in those days. You had the gold and black jersey that you wore, interestingly enough, at away games, and this jersey that you wore at home games. And this is the original real deal, which I'm not supposed to have. But my brother Jay was a trainer at Waco High School, class of 1970, and he claims legally with Coach Wayne Gardner, the head coach, to get this to me. But anyway, this is my real Waco High School Tiger jersey, and this does prove to my children that I did letter playing football at Waco High School. Now, here's the trivia question. What do the late governor of Texas, Ann Richards, and Joe Barton have in common? Graduated from Waco High, that's true, but our first elective office was mayor of Waco High School. You know, Ann Richards, who later became governor of Texas, her first elective office was mayor of Waco High School sometime in the 1950s, I'm not sure when. And I was mayor of Waco High School in 1968. So that's my claim to fame with Governor Ann Richards. I believe, now again, somebody could prove me wrong in this room, there have been two graduates of the original Waco High School who became members of the House of Representatives. The first is Bob Pogue, who was congressman when I was in high school, and then the second is me. Now, Eddie Bernice Johnson, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson, is in the House with me right now, but she is a graduate of Jefferson Moore. She did not graduate. A.J. Moore. Okay, see, I knew somebody would correct me. So I'm very proud of that. Now, my mother, who's not here, she's still alive, she's 89. She's a graduate of Waco High School, too. She graduated in, I believe, 1944. And she later was a Head Start teacher's aide at Sanger Avenue Elementary. And then she was school secretary at Brook Avenue Elementary. And I want to say Bluebonnet Hills. There's what elementary school in Waco is Bluebonnet? Bell Hills, maybe Bell Hills. All right. Anyway, she was a school secretary for over 20 years in the Waco Independent School District. And on a serious note, what I want to tell the school district and the school foundation is it is so important to have good public schools. I am a supporter of homeschools, and I'm a supporter of private schools and church schools, charter schools, all the various kinds of schools. But democracy only works if everybody has an equal opportunity to get a good education. And to get a good education, you have to have a strong public school system. It is imperative. You can't have a functioning democracy that lasts if you don't have an educated electorate. And I totally support families that want to take a different approach to their children's education. That's America. You have freedom of choice. But for most families, if not the only option, the best option is the public school system. And I was very blessed to go through the Waco public school system in junior high at West Junior and at the old Waco High downtown. I had great teachers, great principals, great coaches, great friends. I can honestly say that just to pull one or two names of the teachers, my chemistry teacher in high school was a lady named Helen Dumont. She was mean. She was tough. But I learned more chemistry under Helen Dumont in Waco High than I learned at Texas A&M, where I majored in industrial engineering. My English teacher at Waco High was Mrs. Howard, and we were doing college level English work in Waco High School. My trigonometry teacher was a Ms. Lushner, and she tried to teach me trig. Now, I won't say I learned it very well because I was playing baseball, and I skipped a lot of classes to go play baseball, but she was a great trigonometry teacher. Waco, I had great teachers. I didn't take Latin, but there was a Ms. Osborne who taught Latin. You know, Waco High had an option in Latin, believe it or not. And my coach, Wayne Gardner, was a lifelong friend until he passed away. So I want to thank the Waco Independent School District. I want to thank the foundation for honoring me. I do consider it an honor. And I do thank the community for all that you're doing. All these awards that we just received, that you just received, are indicative of the community here in Waco that puts a value on public education. And lastly, I've never represented McLennan County in the Congress. I've always wanted to, but whoever has McLennan County doesn't want to give it up. And it used to be Marvin Lee. It was Marvin Leith and then Chet Edwards and now Bill Flores. And you can't get them out of here with dynamite because they love representing McLennan County. But I will say, when I ran for the United States Senate in 1993, I didn't carry many counties in the state of Texas, but I did carry McLennan County. So thank you, McLennan County, and thank you for honoring me with this award.
Congratulations again, Congressman Barton. Our next honoree, Debbie Pence Luce, Richfield High, 1972. Debbie Luce is a lifetime Waco resident and graduated from Richfield High in 1972 after attending Waco Public Schools since the first grade. She attended Baylor University and received a Bachelor of Science degree in education in 1976. Debbie married Darrell Luce in 1976. Debbie taught school at St. Paul's Episcopal School while also substituting for Waco ISD while following her husband to Baltimore, Minnesota, and Detroit during his NFL career before starting a family. Debbie is a community volunteer, focusing her efforts on projects dealing with children. Debbie served 12 years on the Waco ISD Board of Trustees, 2 as its president. She is the past president of the Junior League of Waco and has received the Excellence in Volunteerism Award from the league. She is the past president of the Waco McLennan County Bar Auxiliary, Mountain View PTA, Lake Air PTA, and the Arts Center Associates. She has received the Lions Pride Award from Waco High School PTSA for excellence in leadership and service. Debbie has served on the boards of the following organizations: Tomlinson Touching Lives Foundation, Baylor University School of Education Advisory Board, Campfire Teen Leadership, Waco Symphony Council, Historic Waco Foundation, Adopt a School and Waco ISD Education Foundation. Debbie has served as the General Chair for Waco Cotton Palace and co-chairs our Celebrity Cook-Off, HEB Celebrity Cook-Off each year, raising funds and grants for teachers in Waco ISD. She is involved with the Waco Higher Education Finance Corporation, Avance, Compassion Ministries, and is an alumni advisor for the women of Pi Beta Phi at Baylor University. Debbie has taught kindergarten, Sunday school at Columbus Avenue Baptist Church for 30 years. Debbie and Darrell have 2 sons, Brandon and Barrett, 2 amazing daughter-in-laws, Whitney and Barron, and 3 grandchildren. Congratulations, Debbie, on being a 2014 Distinguished Alumni.
Wow, that award is amazing. I'm so excited to receive it. I am thrilled beyond words that I am receiving this honor today. I never dreamed that I would be receiving one. I actually worked on this committee for several years, way back in the day when K-Metz did it, and never thought I'd be standing before you. Over the years, I've tried to give back to the community through various ways, and I believe my desire to give back was begun by watching my mother. My sisters are here today, and they could attest to the fact that our dining room table was always full of PTA stuff. She would even type on her manual typewriter little scholarship coffee tickets, I mean, like this big. I mean, it was such dedication on her part, but it was such an inspiration to me. I would have so many friends and family here today that it means a lot to me that they are here. So I just want to give a little shout out to all my friends over here, a lot of Waco High folks and others that I have grown close to over the years. So thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate it. I want to thank my sisters for coming in out of town, Jan and Lisa. Y'all can stand up if you want to. They drove down here, they get to stand up. So, and my niece, Catherine, they don't want to stand up. My niece, Catherine, thank you for being here. They are obviously my closest friends and sisters. Also, I'd like to thank my children that are here today, Brandon and Barrett. Brandon is a felony prosecutor here in Waco, and his wife, Whitney, she is a social work lecturer at Baylor. And Barrett is a radiology resident at Scott and Wine Temple, and his wife, Barron, is a speech pathologist in the Belton School District. Now, I tell you that because all of them went to Waco ISD schools all the way through. So, to the naysayers that you cannot get a good education in Waco ISD, I say, I beg to differ with that. They are very successful, and I'm so proud of them and proud of Waco ISD for providing them with that top-notch education. Also, I'd like to thank my husband, Daryl, not lastly, but of course, mostly. Daryl's been so supportive of all the projects I've done over the years, allowing me to do whatever, and I've gotten to him in lots of projects as well. And I think that I should share this award with Daryl because he never required me to bring home a paycheck. He allowed me to do whatever I wanted to, and so I appreciate him for that. So I'm very humbled and proud to be included with the other recipients here today, and I just want to thank you, and thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Congratulations again, Debbie, for being a 2014 Distinguished Alumni. This next award is a favor of the Education Foundation. We are honored to recognize educators who have given their lives to serving children. The 2014 Distinguished Retired Faculty goes to Diane Dillon. Dr. Dillon started her career in Waco ISD as a 5th grade teacher at South Waco Elementary and at Brook Avenue Elementary Schools. She served as an instructional specialist at Doris Miller Elementary and as assistant principal at Viking Hills Elementary, North Waco Elementary, Meadowbrook Elementary, Sul Ross Elementary, and Cedar Ridge Elementary Schools. During her career, Dr. Dillon worked endless hours with the neediest children in the highest poverty areas of Waco. Her dedication and passion for her job has impacted the lives of countless numbers of children and has influenced all those around her. She mentored and encouraged many new teachers and served as an inspiration to them. She embraced every day with the challenges they presented with optimism and strength. She is to be commended for her steadfast service to Waco ISD, her dedication to the children and their parents, and her loyalty to her peers. Congratulations, Dr. Dillon, and thank you for the positive impact you have had on countless students and teachers in our district.
Thank you, Waco ISD Foundation Board. I am truly humbled and very much appreciative, but I was only doing my job. I grew up in Hobbs, New Mexico, which was a oil field town 3 miles across the Texas state line, Texas state line in southeastern New Mexico. It was a town of 30,000 that everybody was involved in the school district. The school district demanded excellence from you in everything imaginable. But the biggest asset that school district had were its teachers, and I had some marvelous teachers through my 10 years there. One of them was Ruby Williams, my third grade teacher, who was a firecracker, spitfire, was about this tall, and we were convinced that she had 6 eyes. 2 for each corner, or 4 for each corner, and 2 in front. She ruled that class with an iron fist. We got away with nothing. But beyond that, she was a dedicated teacher, and she realized, and probably in September, there were 4 or 5 of us that were not on grade level, and decided that wasn't going to happen in her class. Every kid in her class was going to be successful, was going to do what they needed to do. So she called my mother and said, Diane is not where she needs to be in reading, so she will be staying after school 45 minutes, 3 days a week, and how is she going to get home? And that's just the way the parents were half afraid of her, too. So I had already realized that I was falling behind. My little self-esteem was about like this. And I can remember sitting there in the little circle of chairs, just dreading when she was going to ask me to sound out a word. All hunched over, my eyes down, hoping she would ignore me through the 45 minutes, but she didn't do that. And I can remember the very first word that I sounded out for Miss Williams, and it was grove. And she asked us, what is a grove? And southeastern New Mexico, you don't know what a grove is because you don't have trees. And we just all kind of looked at her, and when she told us what it was, we thought, oh, well, okay. But I remember the response that she gave when I sounded it out. It was the most affirming. It was, Diane, you did so well, absolutely great. If you keep this up, you're going to be doing excellent. And my whole heart burst with pride. The second teacher was my 9th grade English teacher, Miss Bobby Wyatt, and she was a close personal family friend, who taught me how to write with voice, clarity, purpose, and I know this is hard to believe, but I loved writing research papers. But she also had the most wicked sense of humor that I ever came across, and nobody dozed in that class because you were afraid you were going to miss something. But she kept me after class one day, and she said, I want you to know that when you go to high school next year, I've recommended you for honors English classes, which were now AP classes. And I had good grades. I was doing fine, but I never even suspected that she was going to do that. And she said, there are 2 other teachers that are going to recommend you that this as well. So my heart again just burst with pride that if Miss Wyatt thought enough of me to recommend me for those classes, that I really needed to straighten up and really do some really good work. I became Miss Ruby Williams with Miss Wyatt's sense of humor when I taught 5th and 4th grade here in Waco. I also have to tell, this table 11 here. This is the tip of the iceberg, these women that are here with me today, of the people in Waco ISD that influenced my teaching. There are mentor teachers, there are collaborative colleagues, there are role models, there are administrators who believed in me, supported me, trusted me, and most of the time handed me the ball and said, run with it. But they are just the tip of the iceberg. So all of their names, Miss Williams and Miss Wyatt's names, need to be etched on that award, because they truly are the ones that made me what I am. Now, those of you who know me know that I have a very simple philosophy on teaching. You go to school every day, you leave your problems at the door, you're prepared, and you are also flexible enough to get those teaching moments, those teachable moments for your students. You teach like Miss Ruby Williams, 6 eyes, always on everyone. I hate to quote the book like you're teaching with your hair on fire, but those were the ways that I taught class. And at the end of the day, you pick up your personal problems, and you might find out that those personal problems are not that important anymore because teaching is therapy. I was tough on my kids. I stayed on them, but I told them every day, I do this because I love you and I care about you. And I would get nose to nose with them. I would cajole. I would make them laugh. I did everything I could to get them to be where they were because I knew that that was what Miss Williams and Miss Wyatt would expect of me. I wanted to be the noble and dedicated educator that those 2 women were. That's the award that y'all have given me. But the reward is when I walk through the mall or HEB and I hear my name shouted out across 3 stores, 3 aisles, and I turn around and someone's running at me. Some of them grab me and hug me. Some of them pick me up and swirl me around. Others are a little more resident, and they'll say, "Miss Dillon, I've been chasing you for a couple of, across the store." And they always have a story they want to tell. That makes my heart just soar when they tell me that. And they introduce their family to you and everybody else. And they tell you their success stories. Their success stories are wonderful. What all they're doing, how they've made it through life. And there's more of that than there is the bad. Yes, there have been tragedies. I've had one that was killed in a drive-by shooting. I've had kids that made poor choices in life and are paying for it now. But the good outweighs the bad. In fact, one from my second fifth grade class was named as the new principal of Carver Carver Middle School last night, Alonzo McAdoo. And I can promise you that young man is going to do his best because he knows that Miss Dillon will be contacting him if he doesn't. And Pat Marlin, I forgot to tell you that you and Eileen Ollick need to be at this table over here because the 5 months I spent with you, I learned more about being an administrator than I ever did in 2 years of graduate school. I want to get that in. The tip of the iceberg came this Sunday when I got an email from a parent from South Waco who I had both of her children in my class. And it was a one-sentence affirmation that the choices that I made as a teacher and administrator in this district were the right ones for me. It said, "Happy Mother's Day," and I have no children, I have 4-legged children. "Happy Mother's Day to the woman who helped raise so many children." Tears, just blubbered. But that's the way, that's the reward. Again, thank you for this honor. I couldn't be more pleased, but I was just doing my job. That's what was expected of me. Thank you.
I'm going to turn it back over to Jim Howler to close us out.
Okay, what I want to do before I close this out, and then you're going to sit back down, I want everybody to stand up and give an ovation, standing ovation to these 4 award winners. Absolutely a fantastic representation of Waco, Texas. Debbie Luce, Congressman Barton, Mrs. Means, Ms. Dillon, thank you so much. What an honor. I listened to you can sit down, we'll be out of here in 5 minutes. I listened real closely to what all these people had to say, and I was really, how many of you in here are old enough to remember Emma Harrison? Anybody in here know Mrs. Harrison? Mrs. Means mentioned Mrs. Harrison as being a good teacher for her. She was a great motivator for me. Let me tell you what she used to do back when I was coaching basketball at Baylor. Every game, when we came out of our locker room at the old Heart of Texas Coliseum, Mrs. Harrison was standing there with a piece of candy and would always hand it to me as I came out of the locker room. Every game, she always gave. Okay, one night we're playing TCU. I come out of the locker room. I put my hand out. Ms. Harrison says, "I'm not giving you any more candy. You start winning again." So Ms. Harrison was a great motivator. So Ms. Means, thank you for bringing that up. Before we go here today, let me just say this, and you heard me say this at this event last year. We have great schools, great teachers, great administrators. Just unfortunately, the bad test scores, the kids that get in trouble, are the ones that get recognized most of the time in the media. I'm telling you, all of these people here today said what an impact the Waco Public Schools had on them. We still have those kind of teachers and administrators today. I'd like to ask you, every time you hear somebody in this Central Texas area knock the Waco ISD, you invite them to go to a school with you and sit in on a class and listen to a teacher. We've got recognized schools. We've got exemplary schools. Yeah, the 2 or 3 that drag us down, that's not good. But I said it, I say this all the time. We do not have an education problem in Waco, Texas. We've got a poverty problem. And until we solve that poverty problem through education, we're never going to be the community we strive to be. We have got to find a way to fix poverty, and I am so sincere about this. There are some committees and organizations in our community right now that are doing unbelievable things to try to cure this problem. But as you go from here today, please do me a favor. Be an ambassador for this school district and praise the people that are working with our young people that someday will be up here recognized as distinguished alumni, just like these great folks were today. God bless Waco. Thank all of you. See you next year. Thank you so much. Thank you.